So, as you guys might know, I am a very big simp when it comes to Okami. Okami is one of my favorite games of all time, and I played it for the very first time in 2022, and back in 2023 I made a video on my YouTube channel. It's still my most viewed video about Okami, how it is a masterpiece, and not a lot of people have played it, and it's basically a video of like, hey, go play it because it's an amazing game. And today I really want to talk about Okami yet again, because Kamiya, the original creator of the game, one of the original creators anyway, he had an interview, kind of behind the scenes kind of video thing, where he talked about really wanting to make a Okami sequel. So let's talk all about that in today's video. So sit back, relax, enjoy, take a beverage, and let's get on with this news. Dear Capcom, I don't know how many more sacrifices you will require for Okami to return. I swear I will do everything for you. I promise. Just as long as you bring Okami back for me. Is that fucking door open? I'm just trying to do a sketch. Okay. But no. Needs to be interrupted. As usual. Otherwise the children escape. Oh Lord Capcom. My DMs are open on X. If you want to discuss the sacrifices for Okami. Okay, back to the video. So Kamiya basically recently did this behind the scenes video with Ikumi with her new studio Unseen, and together they were basically reminiscing about Okami, and she also played a very big role in the development of Okami, especially on the art direction for the Tsukiyo-e style art, the legendary art that you see in the game, and she is a very big role in that. So they were kind of just together reminiscing on the development of that game. But Hideki says some very interesting stuff in this video in particular. By the way, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I might feature your comment in the next video. Kamiya really talked about the fact that he has a duty to make a sequel for the fans for Okami, but also for Viewful Joe, I believe it's called. Beautiful Joe. Beautiful Joe. I can never speak this out loud for some reason, but yeah. He still really wants to do this sequel to Okami, and that gives me a lot of hope. But Capcom, you got to see this video, okay, and just listen. Basically this is what he said in the video. The story ended midway, so leaving it as it was, I feel bad. Kamiya reflected, creators I think have the duty to create sequels fans are wanting to see. Although I sound high and mighty, it's been a while since I moved on from Okami, but I still feel like I haven't fulfilled my duty. So Capcom, please, let's do it together. If you guys have played Okami, you know that the game, it does end satisfyingly well, to be fair. It's not a really big cliffhanger. Amaterasu basically goes to the celestial plane kind of thing, but we would really like to know what's at that celestial plane, stuff like that, and if they could bring the story there, that would be a very cool sequel idea, shall I say. And I've said this multiple times in other videos as well, and he also quickly mentioned the recent Capcom survey. I actually wanted to do a video about that Capcom survey, and I did a video, but I actually scrapped that video because I wasn't proud of that video. There was some stuff wrong, like recording, stuff like that, so that's why you never got to see that video. But basically, in a nutshell, the Capcom survey, a lot of people wanted to see Dino Crisis again, but also Okami ranked very high in potential sequels that we wanted to see, in the top 10 basically. And it's also ranking very high in the most beloved games category for Capcom fans. So there is an audience for Okami. And the thing is, I really believe a new Okami game would do very well in today's age, especially with its themes of caring for nature, stuff like that. How we have, of course, the global nature crisis right now in real life with climate change, stuff like that. I think those themes hit even more today than back then. And the thing is, the reason why Okami never got a sequel, there is a spiritual successor, Okami Den, but I mean like a direct console sequel basically, is because of the very bad sales back then on the PlayStation 2. And Okami only sold like 600,000 units and it never got over that. But the thing is, there are a few reasons for that why it failed. The first reason was it released in the West in 2007, which was when the PlayStation 3 was out. And a lot of shooters back then were taking basically the mainstream market. And Japanese games back then at the tail end of the PlayStation 2 era and the beginning of the PlayStation 3 era were really slowing down in popularity. And now that is just a very different story. Japanese games seem to be much more popular even now amongst the hardcore gamers, especially. I mean, look at all those Souls-like games from Software, all Japanese games, but also The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild sell almost 20 million, 30 million units. And Okami is a Zelda-like, and it's really the only IP that can challenge, shall I say, Zelda as a competitor. I highly believe that. And it just blows my mind how Capcom is like, nah, we are never going to do an Okami sequel. Man, you have something very special on your hands with that game. And also in today's age, a lot of people like to play as an animal. I mean, look at Stray, where you play as a cat. A lot of people would like to play as a wolf. There is so much potential with this franchise, and it's just not doing anything. They are not doing anything with it. And the thing is, we can also look at the lifetime sales right now for Okami. That has surpassed to 4 million units just of basically the remaster. Because the remaster that they have been selling over the years is doing most of the sales work. And Okami has basically been growing this kind of, shall I say, cult classic status, shall I say, over the years now. Now, of course, there's also Okami Den on the DS, but Okami Den doesn't really equal that much for the sales in total. It's mostly the remaster that has probably been doing the heavy lifting for these sales. And I believe if there's a brand new Okami game with proper marketing, with the message again of nature, stuff like that, and you play as Amaterasu again as a wolf, I think a lot of people will be very interested in this game. Also with a great art style, with the Tsukiyo-e art style, but then in a modern version, cel shaded, it would be awesome. I tell you guys, if they would make like a Zelda, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom style of Okami game, where it's fully maybe open world, but in Nippon, right? With that art style, I think that would do very well. If I would be a indie game developer myself, I would try to make a spiritual successor of Okami in some way. And there are actually right now indie games that directly take inspiration of Okami. Take a look at Path of the Teal Lotus as an example. It's a newly released indie game and that is fully inspired by Okami. You aren't going to tell me otherwise. Like, it's straight inspired by Okami. There is a big market, I believe, for a new Okami game. With the right amounts of good developers, with Kamiya there. Even without Kamiya, it might be possible. Making maybe an open world game of it. With a great art style. Looking at Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Continuing the story that was there. I think you can capture a lot of new audience as well. But this time also release it for every platform. Don't be exclusive to like PlayStation alone. Just release on every platform. On the Switch. A Switch could handle these type of graphics. Because it's very stylized. Maybe for the Switch too. Capcom, you could release on the Switch too. On the PlayStation 5, on the Xbox and the PC, on every platform. That would do very well. That's really all that I wanted to talk about. I just really want Capcom to just listen and take this man back, man. He wants to make a sequel to Okami, let him do so. And he also wants to make a sequel for Youthful Joe. Just let the man do his job. I mean, Capcom has been very successful recently. They can invest a bit in a new studio and bring Kamiya back. And they don't really even need to make a new studio. Kamiya could basically join the studio of Unseen, maybe Ikumi's studio. And then they could make an Okami game with licensing. You know, that is also a possibility. And then Capcom doesn't have to do it themselves, but they can get the revenue. There is absolutely a possibility for Okami to come back. And I just want this to happen. Share this video with everyone if you want Okami to come back. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this news? And if you guys really want to see Okami back as well, let me know in the comment section down below. Let's quickly do a comment of the day. This was from my last video about RGG's new game that's going to get revealed at Tokyo Game Show. Probably, maybe a new Yakuza game or Judgment, Like a Dragon, something along those lines. I got a comment from CW85X. Please, for the love of God, let it be Judgment 3. Yes, I fully agree with that sentiment. I really love the Judgment games, especially the second one. Lost Judgment is probably one of my favorites, especially when it comes to story. Man, that game is so great. I really hope they stick with Judgment and interweaving it and rotating it with Like a Dragon, because Like a Dragon is now more turn-based. Of course, I really like turn-based as well, but I would also like to see that action combat system back, and that can happen with a Judgment game, so I hope they bring back Judgment. If you have a good comment of your own, let me know in the comment section down below, and I might feature your comment in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, as always. Normally I do more gaming news and rumors, that type of stuff. This was gaming news, but I'm a bit late with this news. If there is any rumors towards Okami, like a sequel for Okami, I will be the very first one that will make a video on it. So don't forget to subscribe. Maybe like this video if you liked it. That will just be very helpful in general. Thank you guys for watching, as always. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Feel the rush.